Have you ever met someone who argues with complete confidence, even when what they're saying makes no sense? They never admit they're wrong. And the more you challenge them, the more certain they become. But here's the interesting part. Psychology suggests that poor reasoning often reveals itself through patterns of thinking, not through grades, degrees, or how loudly someone speaks. By the end of this video, you'll learn 6 habits that can reveal weak thinking, and, more importantly, how to avoid them yourself. Number 1. Overconfidence without understanding. Some people speak with absolute certainty about subjects they barely understand. This is related to the Dunning-Kruger effect, where people with limited knowledge may overestimate their ability because they don't yet understand enough to recognize their own mistakes. They sound confident and argue like experts, but when you ask them to explain why, the reasoning often falls apart. Remember, confidence is not proof of intelligence. People who think deeply are willing to say, "I might be wrong. Let me think about that." So ask yourself, do I defend my opinions, or do I test them? Number 2. A lack of curiosity. Curiosity is one of the strongest tools for learning. People with an open mind ask questions like, why does this happen? What am I missing? Is there another explanation? Weak thinking often becomes comfortable with not knowing. Instead of exploring unfamiliar ideas, people dismiss them simply because they are unfamiliar. If you never ask questions, you never discover what you don't know. Being willing to say, "I don't know," is not weakness. It's the beginning of learning. Number 3. Black and white thinking. Everything is either good or bad, right or wrong, success or failure. There's no middle ground. This kind of rigid thinking makes it difficult to understand nuance. But real life is rarely that simple. 2 people can disagree and both understand part of the truth. Someone can make a mistake and still be a good person. Instead of asking, who is completely right? Ask, what might each side be getting right, and what might each side be missing? That question can dramatically improve your thinking. Number 4. Reacting emotionally instead of thinking first. Someone says something you dislike. You immediately get angry, interrupt, or say something you later regret. The problem isn't having emotions. Everyone has them. The important skill is creating a small space between feeling and action. Emotionally mature people can notice anger or frustration without automatically obeying those feelings. They pause and ask, what actually happened? Why am I reacting this strongly? What response would make things better? That pause can turn an emotional reaction into a thoughtful response. Number 5. Always blaming someone else. Nothing is ever their responsibility. It's the other person's fault. It's bad luck. It's society. It's their boss or their family. Sometimes other people really are responsible for what happens to us. But if someone always looks outside themselves, they lose one of the most powerful things they have, the ability to change their own behavior. Instead of asking, whose fault is this? Ask, what part of this can I control? You may not control what someone did, but you can control what you learn from it and what you do next. Number 6. Being unable to handle disagreement. Someone disagrees, and suddenly it becomes personal. They feel attacked, become defensive, insult the other person, or shut down. But disagreement isn't automatically disrespect. In fact, disagreement can help you discover weaknesses in your own thinking. A strong thinker doesn't ask, how can I win this argument? They ask, what can this person teach me? You don't have to agree with someone to understand them. And you don't have to change your opinion every time someone challenges you. But you should be able to listen, examine the evidence, and reconsider your position when necessary. That is intellectual flexibility. And here's the most important lesson. None of these habits alone can tell you someone's IQ. Intelligence is far more complicated than a few behaviors. The real lesson isn't to look at other people and call them stupid. It's to look at ourselves. Do you question your beliefs? Can you admit when you're wrong? Can you stay curious when something challenges you? Can you control your reaction long enough to think? Because one of the clearest signs of strong thinking isn't knowing everything. It's knowing that you might not know everything. Stay curious, stay flexible, and never let your ego become more important than the truth. Because the moment you're willing to question yourself, you've already started becoming a better thinker.